Hey everybody, this is Chad from Stick's Blog. I'm Stick, and today I want to talk to you about another cook system. Now the cook system that I want to talk to you today about is made by a company called Flat Cat Gear. Some of you may recognize that name, some of you may not. Some of you may actually recognize it without actually recognizing it. Flat Cat Gear makes a pretty interesting little stove, and once you've seen it, I don't think you could ever really forget the stove because of the design of it. When I first came across Flat Cat Gear, it was actually by a video that Jason Class did, posted a number of months ago, and when I saw it I thought, that's a pretty cool looking stove. Ever since then it's kind of been on the back of my mind, but I haven't really ever done much with it. Then just a couple of days ago, well, about a week or two ago now, John from Flat Cat Gear actually got in touch with me and asked me if I would be interested in him sending me one of his systems, his cook systems, for me to check out to see how well I liked it. I took him up on that offer. I told him that'd be fine. So yesterday when I got home from work, I found a box sitting on my doorstep, and of course inside that box was the Snow Leopard original system from Flat Cat Gear. So I decided last night when I unboxed it and looked at everything, I decided that I thought it was a pretty cool little system, and I decided that I would do a video today to kind of show other people the stuff or this particular system that I have, and just kind of share some of my general thoughts on it. So with that being said, I decided that I would do a little video, and what I have here is my entire cook system that I plan on using with the Snow Leopard system that John sent me. And just for reference, I just want to say that everything that is inside this kit, which is my entire cook system other than my spoon and my mug, but everything inside here weighs 6.3 ounces. So that's including the cozy, the cook pot, everything that John sent me, and everything that I pull out of this. And I'm gonna pull it all out in just a minute and show you everything that I have in here. Now real quick, I want to say that Flat Cat Gear has two different main systems that they sell. The first system is called a Bobcat system, and that's going to be for use with more of your wider diameter, kind of shorter cook pots. And then they have the Snow Leopard systems, which is what he sent me, and that's more geared towards your shorter or your smaller diameter mug slash cook pots. I like to use the smaller diameter cook pots, and John decided to send me the Snow Leopard system to use with some of the stuff that I have. So real quick, I want to bring the camera in just a little bit closer and unpack what I have in here, just kind of show you, talk about it for just a little bit, and then I have some water and I have some fuel. I'm going to do a little test burn with it and see how it does. Now also real quick, I want to say that that John has two interesting videos on his site. Both of those videos do really well at explaining what each system consists of, as well as how to pack the system, and a couple of little tips and stuff that are good to know as far as using his system. So I'm not going to try to touch on any of those really, because he's done such a good job at making those. So what I'll do is in my blog post, I'll just include those videos with this information. So hang on just a second, I'm going to bring everything closer and we'll take a better look at it. Okay. So this is my entire cook system. Not everything right here is what is included with the Snow Leopard system. So if you're interested in it, I suggest you go and check out the Flat Cat Gear site, and I'll tell you exactly what's included in the system. But as I take everything out of here, I'll be sure to specify that what I'm taking out is something that came with the system. Now first off, I decided to use this with a 800 milliliter Imusa cook pot, and this is actually a do-it-yourself cozy that I made for it. So taking everything out, I have a lid for the cozy. Then you can see everything packs really nicely down inside the cook pot, which is actually inside my cozy. So there's everything that I need down inside there, including all the components of the Snow Leopard original system. So I'll just go ahead and take everything out. First off, I have a light load towel, which I use to actually clean the cook pot, which I don't actually cook anything in it. All I do is boil water. So I have my light load towel to kind of dry the cook pot out, as well as serve as a pot grabber. Of course, that did not come with the system. I also have this little Sparky that John Abella sent me. This is what I use, of course, to light my alcohol stove once it's got the fuel and everything in it. And of course, that did not come with the system. Now this is a little measuring cup. This did come with the system. John sent this, that way I could precisely measure out my fuel. Also, while I've got this in hand, according to the instructions that came with the system, it says that approximately 1 tablespoon or 17 to 20 milliliters of fuel is enough to bring 2 cups of water to a boil. So here in a little bit, whenever I do my little test boil in it, that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to fill this to the 1 tablespoon mark, and I'm going to fill my cook pot with 2 liters of water, or 2 cups of water, excuse me, and see what kind of boil I get out of it. So he does send this little cup with you, or with the cook system. Next, I have the actual little these actually go through the windscreen and form the pot stand. Your cook pot actually sits on top of these 2 little wires here. These wires also have little silicone grips so you can grab, so you don't burn yourself. Of course, these did come with the system. Next, I have the actual stove. As you can see, I've already actually used it once or twice already. The green coloring in it is actually green food coloring for my fuel. But this is the stove, and as you can see, it's a unique looking stove for sure. So this is why I said that if you've ever seen this stove before, I'm sure you probably remember it just because of the way it looks. There's not too many, actually there's not any other stoves out there that I'm aware of that has this same look to it. So it's an interesting stove, that's for sure. But anyway, that's the stove. Next, I have, this is just a piece of aluminum foil that I use for the lid for my my cook pot. Of course, this did not come with the setup that John sent me. And then last in here, well, not last, but getting close to last, this is a ground protector slash heat reflector. John does send this with the cook system, and this actually, the stove just sits on top of it. And then I have the windscreen. This is the windscreen for the Snow Leopard original system. And as you can see, there's a bunch of tabs around the outside top edge. And these tabs is what allows so many different cook pots to actually be used with this system. This system is said to be able to adapt to a cook pot with a diameter anywhere between 3.6 and 4.1 inches, and the way that that happens is because these tabs will fold in and out. Now, one thing that he suggests is not to use this cook system with multiple cook pots, because if you continue to bend the tabs back and forth, they will eventually crack and possibly break off. So he really suggests using this cook system with one particular pot. That way you can adjust the tabs when you get it for that cook pot, and then you never have to mess with the tabs again. But like I said, also if you'll notice on this edge, it's got a cutout so that if you're using a cook pot with handles, your handles will still work with this system. But that's the cook, or the windscreen. And then last, I have my cook pot. Nothing special about it. I do cut the handles off because I'm not a big fan of handles on my cook pots, personal preference. And then I have the rest of the cook kit. So real quick, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all this stuff together, set it outside, and then I'm going to show you, you know, how it does as far as boiling and all that good stuff. So give me just a second and I'll put all this stuff together and get it ready. So hang on. Alright, so there you have it. It's been approximately 8 minutes and 30 seconds. We've got a good rolling boil. Well, looks like the stove is actually burning out. But we did get a rolling boil. Let's see here. Yep, the stove is out. But we did accomplish a rolling boil in approximately 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's pretty awesome. So, that's the Snow Leopard original flat cat gear system. If you're interested in this system, be sure to check out the Flat Cat Gear site. And until then, I'm going to use this for a while and see what I think of it. And I'll be sure to do a follow-up video sometime soon. So until then, I appreciate you for watching. If you have any comments or questions, just post them below. Or feel free to contact John from Flat Cat Gear, and he'll be more than happy to answer your questions for you. Until then, we'll see you later. Thanks.